Well, it's been about as lopsided as you could expect from a one seed versus 8 seed series, I should say. A 25-point win for the Philadelphia 76ers that had all the drama of the second night of a back-to-back in late January.
Yeah, I thought Washington came out, had good pace, tried to do some stuff they did. Their inability to knock down threes, and they're just a poor defensive team. Yeah. I mean, Philly kind of got what they wanted, and really put it on them. I mean, look, if you're the 1 seed, the best record in the Eastern Conference, you're supposed to take care of the 8 seed. They did their job tonight in Philly.
It's Kevin McHale, Jason Terry right over there. I'm Matt Weiner. It's Game Time presented by Kia. A blowout win for the Philadelphia 76ers, so much so that none of their starters played more than 28 minutes tonight. So for Doc Rivers, aside from Tobias Harris tweaking an ankle early in the game, and he came back from that even, really, you couldn't ask for anything else out of your team in a 2-0 lead situation.
Yeah, very beneficial. Those guys get to rest, and then you let the young guys taste some of that playoff madness. But, I mean, for Washington, you just feel bad. I mean, to a man, they just don't have the talent that Philly has. So, I mean, they have to play their A-plus game, and tonight they didn't have it on either end of the floor. They shot the ball extremely horrible. And, Westbrook got kind of banged up there at the end. Yep. Beal tried to keep him in it, but, they just didn't have enough. I thought, again, Ben Simmons, his mindset was perfect. Come out, set the tone early, take some pressure off Tobias and Embiid. And, Tobias got it there going early as well. So they're playing well right now. They are a true number 1 seed, and they proved it tonight.
Well, and Simmons, if not for the rest in the fourth quarter, almost certainly would have had a triple-double. He had 22, 9 boards and 8 assists, 11 of 15 from the field. As you pointed out before the game, didn't take a single three because he doesn't need to. And Philadelphia, between Simmons and Embiid, can really own the paint and spread you out a little bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, they have the other people to spread you out, as Embiid's making threes that are, shooting it pretty well out there too. But I really liked what Jet talked about. Just Simmons put his head down early in that game and just went and played bully ball in the paint. And those small guards just couldn't handle him. And that really just set the tone completely for Philly, just being aggressive and attacking. But again, I'll get back to Washington's defense. There just wasn't much resistance. I mean, when a guy drives from the three-point line, gets all the way in, shoulders you, and lays it in, and there's no help, I mean, that's unacceptable. Someone's got to come in there and help them out. So they've got a lot of work to do, Washington does, to just try to find some kind of defensive concepts that are going to slow this Philly team down. And Philly is playing very well. Like you said, they look like a number 1 seed and are doing what they're supposed to do.
Plus 18 in the paint, and Washington had just 2 block shots the entire night. Philadelphia racked up 14 blocks on the other end of the floor. Let's check out Simmons' night via the shot chart presented by Mountain Dew. 11 of 15 from the field. Where are all those dots? Show me the dots.
There will be short dots.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. Dot, all in the paint.
Those are high-efficiency shots.
There's no question. That's how you go 11 for 15.
That's how you do the do in the paint.
Yeah.
He didn't even take a shot from outside the paint.
No.
And why would you?
Now, if you can get in there, might as well just go in there and do what you do best. Now, like I said, we talked about it before the game. Yeah, people were making a big deal. He had 15 rebounds, 15 assists in game 1. Where's his points? Well, he does so many things for that team. And tonight he comes out and just started the game off, just being aggressive, scoring. He's just a really, really good basketball player. Helps you win. Yeah. And we haven't even talked about his defense yet.
I was just going to mention his defense. I mean, in the second half, he guards Beal primarily to start the half, and he did a great job on him. Forced him in some tough shots, a couple turnovers, and really threw Beal out of his rhythm in the third quarter.
He's been a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year all season long, a finalist for that award. I don't have any inside knowledge, I think he's going to wind up finishing second to Rudy Gobert. But I don't know. He's certainly a worthy candidate because of his versatility. He can guard just about anybody on the floor at 6'10".
Yeah, no doubt. Guards multiple positions and just really makes it tough, but also rebounds the ball extremely well from the guard position.
Yeah. First 2-0 start in a playoff series since 2013 for the Philadelphia 76ers, who had their most lopsided postseason win since 2018. And because of the disparity in scores in this game, unfortunately, the headlines, a lot of what you're going to see tonight and tomorrow will have nothing to do with the game, but with what happened to Russell Westbrook when he left the game injured in the second half, and that was namely a fan tossing popcorn on his head as he made it through what we call the vomitorium, that aisle that leads into the bowels of any arena, and there was just enough of a gap there for some person to dump popcorn on him in just a reprehensible act.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is that inspires, especially in a game that their team is winning easily. I can't fathom what would make a fan want to do this. And to me, this isn't a fan at all. This is someone who doesn't, it's hard to even say what's going through their heads here. Being a jerk does not make you a better fan.
No.
It just makes you a jerk.
Seen it my whole career, been in the league since 1980 and seen crazy things and popcorn thrown, fans rush the bench. I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff that just makes you shake your head. And Russell was really upset about it. But, hey, those Philly fans, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. And once they do that, they're known for just being kind of off the wall a little bit, those Philly fans. But you shouldn't do that. There's no, like you said, their team's crushing them. They're way ahead. Throwing popcorn at the guy, just something you shouldn't do. Passion's
one thing, and Philadelphia fans are known for that. There's an edge to the crowd, certainly, but that's obviously crossing a line.
Yeah, no question.
And that fan, if that's the person who was taken out, that person should not be allowed back in.
Agreed.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that fan's banned for life. I mean, senseless act. I mean, again, what does really throwing popcorn on somebody really do other than piss you off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's done. Get him out of here. And, thank God that Washington's security team had things in place because as a player, something like that happened, you black out. I mean, you literally black out, and it's on, especially somebody like Russell Westbrook. He's already intense as it is, but they corralled him, got him to the locker room, and hopefully all parties are safe.
Well, Jed, I can tell you years ago they didn't have security on your bench, and when you walked in the locker room, you walked in by yourself. You were constantly throwing stuff at people. If they throw something at you, throw it back at them. It was just crazy. They reached out and grab you, you'd slap them, and it was just different, But there's no room for that. Now they have security, and they take care of you a little bit better. But yeah, Philly, we've had a lot of interesting run-ins with Philly over the years. All the Philly fans there, they are passionate, but that's a step way too far throwing the popcorn.
The Wizards did not enjoy their stay in Philadelphia. They're down 0-2. Let's hear from head coach Scott Brooks.
Go ahead, Chase. Scott, first of all, what did Russell have to keep the game with?
I think it was his ankle.
And as this game slipped away from you, what do you think were the biggest reasons they were able to pull ahead by so much?
Well, they were attacking. They were getting a lot of high efficiency shots, and they were making them. And then we couldn't make a bucket. We couldn't get any shots, timely shots. We couldn't hit any threes. The free throws were not falling for us. We didn't play well. We played well in spurts, but when you playing against this team, you can't play well in spurts. You got to be able to sustain a lot of good basketball throughout the game. Their starting lineup is powerful. They got a lot of weapons. I thought we did a fairly decent job on Embiid, and he still was 8 for 12 with 22 points. And Simmons and Harris, they didn't miss many shots, and they were getting some pretty good looks.
Ava?
Scott, I'm not sure if you've been made aware of the situation when Russ was walking back to the locker room and it looked like a fan was dumped popcorn on him. Just what are your thoughts on that, I guess?
Say it again, I didn't get the last part.
Just when it looked like a fan dumped popcorn or threw popcorn or something at Russell as he was walking back to the locker room.
No, I'm not aware of that. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. If that's the case, it's not good. If fans are throwing things at you, Philadelphia is better than that. If that did happen. If it did happen, hopefully the kid or the person's banned from the league watching any games, because it's unacceptable. They wouldn't do that down the street.
It seemed like this game had a more physical edge kind of from the start. You said you wanted your guys to play with more toughness going into this one. Where do you feel like you lost that a little bit?
I thought we did. I thought we had some opportunities to score with them in that first quarter. I thought defensively, they made some good tough shots. Simmons was getting opportunities, and like I said, Tobias and Embiid, they're all they got a lot of, they made their shots, but I thought we had an opportunity to stay much closer in that first quarter, but we still came out of that half only, I think, down 14. And then even with all the craziness that happened in the third quarter, we're still down 14. We just couldn't get a couple of shots to fall in a row. We were 2 for 22 from the three-point line. We haven't been a great three-point shooting team, but we're not that bad.
DA.
But they are, it doesn't seem like they're paying much attention at all to Raul right now. And, it seems like it's difficult for him to kind of find any kind of rhythm and flow. I mean, I know you haven't looked at the tape yet, but with the size disadvantage you already have with Simmons at the one, I mean, is that an area where you maybe think about making a change or looking at something different?
Yeah, I mean, everything's up for grabs right now. I mean, we're going to look back. We've got a couple of days. We're going to look at the film, and you've been in enough playoff series, and they're the number one seed for a reason, because they're really, really talented. They're explosive. They're powerful in that starting lineup. But they did what they were supposed to do. Won on their home court. We got an opportunity to do that. All I told the guys is just, when you've been in enough playoff series, they did what they did. Now it's our turn to do what we need to do. And all we have to do is focus on winning Game 3. And bring all of our energy and enthusiasm. Nothing's been easy for us this year, and to win a game and to win a series is not going to be easy. But everything's definitely going to be looked at. We got to find a better group on both ends of the floor. And whoever we choose, it's not going to be that person's fault, but we just got to mix some things up if we do go that route. I mean, it's early. I just gonna have to think about things and watch the game film.
Scott, what tends to be better when you're at home?
Just the comfort level. We've been playing pretty good basketball at home. Take away the first part of the season, we've had a nice little rhythm at home. It's natural when you got younger players that you just feel comfortable at home. Everything is very familiar. I mean, this is the first time we played in a very hostile environment. Some of our guys, I think they did pretty well playing through all that. We didn't play well as a group together, but I would be better at home. Looking forward to the challenge of bouncing back and focusing on just Game 3.
Right. Hey, Scott. How do you weigh, on a night when Davis is not making his shots, how do you weigh, so much of his value specifically in his shot making? How do you weigh sending him back out there and kind of waiting for him to break out versus maybe putting somebody in who can help you in other aspects if he's not making them?
Yeah, I mean, it's always got a lot of confidence in him. We need him. We need him to make shots. That's why I left him in there. I thought he was going to maybe knock one in. Sometimes in the last minute of a half, you can get a wide open three on some of these 2-for-1 situations. Or that's why I left him in with 3 fouls. I was more worried or more interested in him making a shot than him getting the 4th foul. We need his shot making. Let's face it. We're a better team when he makes shots. I need to do a better job. Our guards, our playmakers need to do a better job, and he needs to do a better job. We need to find him more than 4 shots.
And Scott, Game 3, is that a kitchen sink game? Is that just Beal plays 44 minutes and everything else along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, that's been we have to play with urgency. We've had that mentality for a while now, and we had it the last 2 games. It was just last two games, they played better than us. Much better tonight than the first night, but they played a few possessions better than us in the first game. No matter what, they beat us twice on their home floor. I'm assuming that was their plan. Now we have to do what we need to do. We got to focus all of our attention on Game 3. And yeah, it's a. I mean, there's never a must-win unless it's the last possible game, but it's a very. We need to come out with an urgency and an edge to us, and I'm confident that we will. Our guys will. We've always had that belief that we can bounce back from a tough situation.
Candace.
Scott, are the 76ers doing anything to limit Russ's impact the way that he was in the final weeks of the regular season, or are these just two kind of bad shooting games?
I mean, he got banged up tonight a few times, but been around him enough, man. That guy is. He will give everything he has to his team, and he knows what this time is about, and I know what he's about. So he has a couple of days to get his body right and bounce back. You know, he got beat up early in the game, and then a few other times. But I've seen him bounce back from some very not so good moments where you think that he might be out for a couple of weeks. But he's tough, and he's not happy that he wasn't able to finish the game. But he's a winning basketball player. He'll get his body right, and hopefully he'll be ready to play Saturday night. But like I said, I haven't talked to our medical, so I don't know really how that's going right now.
Matt Turks.
Hey Scott, what can you guys do to get their secondary protection from guys that
I can barely hear you. What was that?
What can you guys do to get more scoring from guys that aren't Brad?
Say it again, I'm sorry. This is a very interesting setup we have here.
About secondary scoring, that guys.
Yeah, no, we need everybody to chip in. We need everybody to chip in. We need our three bigs to chip in. We need Ish to chip in. We need everybody that comes into the game to get an opportunity. It's not just about, Brad. Brad has done a great job of putting us on his back a lot of times, and Russell has. But when we're really good, everybody's filling a part, being a part, contributing, and we haven't been able to find that yet. But we got another opportunity Saturday night. Brad is going to keep bringing his toughness to the team, and we're just focused on one game. I know it's a cliche, but it's important that we just all of our energy, all of our spirit, our competitive juices got to just focus on getting everybody thinking about one game, Game 3.
Olivia.
Hey Scott, what do you say? I mean, what's your message to these guys to just reset and stay positive after this road trip and get ready to be in front of their own and play at Capital One on Saturday?
Yeah, you know what? Nobody wants to be down 0-2. It stinks. I don't sugarcoat anything with our guys. I say I feel bad. And looking at you guys right now, you feel bad, and I like that. That's why I love all the guys. They feel bad. They don't want to be down 0-2. They feel, maybe we could have gotten game one. But now there's 14 teams wish they would, no, not all 14. I mean, all 14 wish they would be in this situation right now, being down 0-2, going on your home floor. We got a chance to be in front of our home crowd. How exciting is that? It's what you play for. We're gonna get some juice from our crowd. They're gonna pump us up, and we're gonna be ready to play. And we got to play better. There's no question. We got to play better. A lot of things have to go better for us. We don't have to play perfect, but we got to play better. And we've done it many times this year, especially as of late. And now we get another opportunity. I mean, it's still you're playing playoff basketball, and it's fun, exciting. And my job is to figure out ways to, for us to get this game. But it's obviously an important one.
Last question, Anil.
Scott, you've been kind of saying all season that you've been hoping that you guys can get a hot stretch from three. That really hasn't been the case. 2 of 22 tonight. Do you think it's just missing shots entirely, or the 76ers doing something? What are you seeing?
Well, they blocked a bunch of our jump shots. That hasn't happened. Their length and ability to contest shots, it bothered us at times. We haven't been great, but we haven't been a 9% three-point shooting team. We're due. Got to step up, be ready to take those shots. And I thought we had opportunities to continue to drive and kick. We had some good sets and some good moments on the offensive end. But we struggle from the free throw line. We struggle from the 3-point line. And that's tough to overcome on the road. But we got a chance to bounce back Saturday night, and that's what it's all about with our group. And we're just going to focus on one game. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Scott Brooks pretty plainly laying out the situation for his Wizards down 0-2. Easy night for Joel Embiid. Played just 26 minutes to get his 22 points. Sixers have a commanding 2-0 lead. Joel Embiid has only had to play 56 minutes. Easy night for Embiid and the Sixers, who win it by 25.
About the victory, it seemed like you guys were just clicking on all cylinders, so to speak. And that second quarter, you guys shot like 68%.
Yeah, man, we moved the ball. With the way they guarded me, really not allowing me to really catch the ball, and doubling or triple teaming me as the ball's in the air. In that situation, I just gotta make plays. Get guys open, and we got a lot of shots out of that. Ben was wide open a lot of times. We have wide open shooters, so just moving the ball, just taking whatever the defense gives us, and just finishing it.
Talk about your thrusting. I mean, right then and there, the crowd got excited, everything. It looked, you guys went up 12 at that point. Game was over. I mean, take us through that experience.
It's fun. I miss the crowd. I mentioned that in the past, DX is, my favorite, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, my favorite wrestlers. And obviously the group, was also my favorite. And, that's what they used to do. And, and also with the left side of the N1, it just makes sense to combine the both of them and, just enjoy myself. But at the end of the day, I miss the crowd. I like when they get loud because it doesn't only help me, it also helped the whole team. Just then by getting loud, it makes us play harder and, wanting to get more stops and get out in transitions and make plays.
Thank you.
Malika Andrews.
Hey, Joel. I'm sorry it's a little loud in this arena. It's good to see you. I have two for you. First, speaking of the crowd, I'm just wondering, now you're headed back out on the road, seeing bigger crowds on the road. Does that fuel you in the same way, and why?
There's no better crowd than, Philly fans. With a lot they get, how excited they get and now into the game they are. So it's not going to be the same feeling, but it's also, I love playing on the road also because, people boo you, they talk trash and, for me personally, it makes me play even better, just because I want to shut them up. So I'm excited, but I'm glad, we took care of business at home. So nice. It's time to go on the road and, trying to finish there.
And then secondly, Joel, I'm just wondering how your playoff experience over the past couple of years, if you're seeing it, if you're feeling it now, if it's kind of coming to fruition, some of those things that maybe you learned or maybe you'd been working on previously.
And the game this year has completely slowed down for me. I'm just taking my time. I'm just letting it come to me. Like tonight, so they're sending three guys on me, and I'm making the right play. I just in those situations, I just got to make the right plays and not force anything. And that's a sign that the game has just slowed down for me. In the past, I would be trying to force, and my skill level was still good in the past, but this year there's a lot of stuff that I can use to counter. Like if they want to double me, I can just go to the nail, or I can play out the delay and attack that way. So there's ways that I can fight against double or triple teams.
Thanks, Joel.
John Clark.
Hey, Joel, what did you think of Ben Simmons' aggressiveness from the start? Now, last time he was facilitating mostly, and then tonight he really kind of took over himself early on.
Oh, you needed to. Like I mentioned, with the way that we're guarding me, just the gravity, got guys open. He was a recipient of that. He was just aggressive. Whether it's, playing one-on-one with, the other guys not helping. I saw my man just the whole game that just didn't want to leave me alone. So I just told him, I was like, you got all the space and all the time in the world, just attack, just be aggressive, just one-on-one. And, he's physical, he's athletic, and he can make plays. So he was great tonight, and we're going to need him to keep being that way.
Thank you.
Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Joel, another Ben Simmons question. Does it show his versatility and just how dangerous he can be when he can score the way he did tonight, and then in game one he can facilitate and provide all those assists? Does it show just how dangerous he can be?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Obviously, every game there's adjustments. The first game, he took what the defense gave him, and, he made plays. He got guys open. He had 15 assists. Tonight, he saw that they didn't want to leave me alone, and he had a lot of space with a one-on-one matchup, and he took advantage of it, and that's great. We need that versatility. Like I said, we're going to need him to keep being aggressive and dominating.
Kai Carlin.
Hey, Joe. From the beginning of the game, it seemed like the Wizards sent a lot more aggressive double teams early at you, and you were able to kind of make quick adjustments pretty early on, honestly. Was it easier for you to attack double teams with the way Washington was sending them? It just seemed like it was just easy to kind of pick apart for you.
I expected it. You go into every game, the first game, they send double teams, but they weren't coming as aggressive as they did tonight. And I took advantage of it. And, there were more coming on the dribble. Tonight, before the game, I just knew that they weren't going to let me dribble the ball. They were going to try to get the ball out of my hands. Since the past 2 days, I knew what the game plan was going to be, what I had to do. And in that case, just, make plays for my teammates. I might not, get a lot of assists, but just the gravity of, like I mentioned, they guys, they didn't want to leave me alone. And, that gives a lot of space to my teammates. And, if people are going to guard me that way, at the end of the day, if we score, that's all that matters.
And then real quick about Tobias, I think at 1909 for 13 shooting, what kind of layer does that add to you guys offensively when he's just in a groove and really efficient like that?
Well, it's been great. It just didn't happen now. It's been great all season. Just being aggressive, being efficient. The underrated part about his game this year has been his defense. he's been great on that end too. So, like I said, same thing that I said about Ben. We're gonna need him to, keep being that efficient and aggressive.
Thanks, Joe.
Ben Simmons is available at the secondary link. And last question, Austin Krell.
Hey, Joel, it looked like you had a little bit of an exchange with Bradley Beal in the third quarter. Would you be able to dive into what was said?
He was trying to complain that he didn't get a call, and I just told him to just shut up because it wasn't a foul. It's whatever. It's within the game. We're having fun, trying to dominate. So a little trash talk doesn't hurt. Thank you.
Yeah. I just told him to shut up.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid said, we don't want Doc Rivers to shut up. He questions on a 2-0 lead.
He's been phenomenal. Obviously, he played well today, and he's been playing well. But and I talked about it before the game, just his voice, his willingness to share and speak up. In shoot-arounds, he's like grabbing guys' shoulders and changing their angles on picks. He's just been great. It's funny. Dan and a couple of our other coaches had him and said he was really quiet. And he's been great with us. He feels comfortable enough to share and talk. And then, just from what he did last year, I think that brought some cachet with him as well. It's been great having conversations with the team on social things with George with you. It's kind of nice, he likes to share. We have a team that actually likes to talk about issues, and not just social issues, just in general, the world. And so it's been pretty cool.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks.
John Clark.
Hey, Doc, what did you think of Ben Simmons' aggressiveness from the start, but this time kind of doing it on his own with his communication with Joel because of what they were doing with Joel?
Yeah, they were giving us space, and that's one of the things, like when they don't give space, that means Ben's going to drive and kick off. He'll create points by passing. When they do give space, then Ben drives to score. And tonight they kind of changed what they were doing on Joel, which gave Ben more room. They were also spraying back out to our shooters, which gave Ben more room. And he was great. He took advantage of it.
Hey, after game one, you had a lot of coaching points. You got anything after tonight?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I can guarantee you that. I didn't, it's funny, at halftime, we were up. I wasn't happy, with some of the things we were doing defensively. Then I thought at the end of the third, we threw the ball away a bunch to keep them in it. But overall, they played with great spirit. They really did. I love how they're sharing the ball, and I love our pace. Like, we have to keep playing at that pace.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Keith Pompey.
Yeah, Doc, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what really stood out to you? Because it seemed to me the spirit was there, that they were sharing the ball. I know you said you probably didn't like the second quarter, but you guys shot 68% in that second quarter.
Yeah, it's funny. I rarely look at the offensive numbers. It's funny. I go straight to defense. I really do. The offense was great just because of the spacing that they gave each other. The ball didn't stick, Keith. Like, it was from decision to decision, decisiveness, quick decision. We say it a billion times every practice. Move it, quick decision, be decisive. I thought our guys did a great job of sharing the ball. And then at halftime, we talked about, like, if we want to really get up, if we get multiple stops, then we can really run. And I thought the defense in that third quarter changed it. We started getting stops and running, and then it was all over.
In regards to Ben, the last couple of days you've been asked a lot of questions about him. You talked about the treasure he is. Here's a guy that was criticized yesterday and the day before that. And for him to come out, and I know you don't care about stuff like that, right? But for him to come out and have that performance, that says a lot about him.
Yeah, it does. But we didn't, listen, if we scored 125 points the first game, I think. So it's all about us scoring points. And whichever way we do it, I'm good with that. If we had scored 130 and Ben had the same numbers as the first game, that would have mean he was great in doing something else. That's what I mean. His value to us is almost, you can't measure it.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Rich Hoffman.
Hey, Doc. Tyrese Maxey got some second half minutes for you guys. You did play 11. Was that a reaction to Seth's injury? And do you think with his strong play, he might play more in the coming games?
It wasn't a reaction to Seth at all. We had made that decision. I actually told him at halftime he'd be playing in the second half. So we'll see. I don't comment about players' minutes and all that stuff, but he earned it. He was fantastic. His speed was a difference maker.
Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Coach. Raphael from the three-point conversion. Coach, you all held Washington to two for 22 from the three-point line. Was it an emphasis to keep them from the three-point line or stop them from the three-point line?
Yeah, but they missed some too. I'd love to take all that credit, but they did miss some shots that we'll go over that I thought were makeable shots. But overall, I thought we were flying around. We ran them off the three a lot. I thought we stopped the drive for one stretch. And when you stop the drive, you can get back out to the three. So I thought that was key. That's something we talked about for 2 days.
Paul Hudrick.
Hey, Doc, I apologize if this was already talked about, but Matisse and Tyrese both together, it just seems like you already touched on, Tyrese's speed, but it seems like they're kind of like energy and like the kind of youthfulness they kind of provide. Seems like it definitely gives you guys a boost when they're playing together. Is that something you'd like to see more of, just them two, playing together and developing their chemistry a little bit?
Yeah, it's been good. We had Tyrese or Matisse setting picks. We had him running the floor. He had the one back cut for a layup that Tyrese gave to him. So it's good, but they play together. I tell you, every day that group gets together after practices and goes through every set, and they've been great so far. So we just got to keep it going.
Thanks, Doc.
Last question, Mike Sielski.
Hi, Doc. To follow up on that and a Matisse question, he had 4 steals and 5 blocks in just 20 minutes tonight. Can you deploy a player like him from a defensive standpoint the way you might from a guy off the bench from an offensive standpoint? Do you think of him that way, or do you just put him in when you need him and take for granted the defense?
Yeah, I guess you can say he's our defensive Lou Williams. Like Lou Williams I had, and I had Jamal Crawford, both offensively, where you threw them in and you told them if they passed the ball once, you were going to take them out. Because their job was to score. Matisse's job is to get stops when he comes in. So I've not had a lot of guys. Tony Allen, I guess, way back was very similar because he was coming off the bench for us. Offensively, there's very few guys like that in the league. And the guys who they are usually the 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson, guys like that.
Thank you.
More coming up on Game Time, presented by Kia. We'll check in with Russell Westbrook, who